Hi Tim, it's good to see you again.
See you.
Thanks. Not many people say that, but anyway, the background that you have got, and the fact that we as AssetWise work quite heavily, and we aim to work quite heavily into the ownership of any property and portfolio. You know, key to what we do as AssetWise is condition assessment and them kinds of things. But you've got a slightly I guess an additional skill set that we can now bring to the market and our clients. Can you just tell us a little bit about how you see that, how you can help on top of what we've, I guess, traditionally been doing for the last couple of years?
Yeah. Thinking about that, I think what I can bring is also, I spent a period of time as a senior facilities manager. That's where I was managing sort of 9 FMs on site.
Right.
And the buildings we were involved in were commercial towers, actually owned by Macquarie Bank at the time, now by Chubb. So, that's in Victoria. And I think that role, we were sort of more focused from supporting the client from a landlord perspective. So we had a slightly different view on how things we managed in the building. It was all sort of base building works and supporting the tenants within the space there. The role there it was all sort of team leadership, it was budgeting, it was contractor management, OHS compliance, that sort of thing. But then conversely, I was able to, or fortunately, I was able to find work with from another perspective where I was a senior property manager. So I managed not only the FM guys on site, but also the property managers. And this has allowed me to sort of gain better knowledge about how to administer leases, how to manage leases and the like, and tenant interaction and that sort of thing. So again, it's a slightly different skill set. But the client I was working with, which was actually ANZ Bank at the time, they were a large occupier of the spaces, of lease spaces. So, there's a slightly different perspective on how the building's managed. One, Macquarie Bank from the landlord's perspective, and also from the occupiers. So I think I can bring those sort of skills and understanding to AssetWise. And
just touching on, are you seeing anything that in the market of Melbourne as you've returned from the Middle East that's sort of going, that's interesting. They're not necessarily doing what I thought they would, or they're a bit further on. Is there any of them little markers coming through for you?
Yeah, I think what I've come to learn, and I suppose I spend a lot of time reconnecting with ex-colleagues and peers in the industry when I came back to sort of help inform myself what had changed over that period of time and quickly sort of get my head around it. But I think it's very interesting that especially now with the coming out of, we're still in COVID, but there's an influx of people coming back into the office, and the building owners are trying to manage this, trying to make it a safe and welcoming return, and all the logistics around that. So it's not a straightforward exercise.
No, not at all.
No. So and this for me sort of raises a question of how are owners and occupiers using the space. There's a massive debate now about what's going to happen in the future about do occupiers need all this space they're leasing? There was up to the run up to COVID, there was a lot of focus on activity based working and how to sort of shrink, if you like, the office space and better use the space. So that coupled with the success of people working from home over the last sort of 12 months, or perceived success. You wonder now if that's further strengthens that the owners will probably, or the occupiers will probably rethink their strategies, and then that raises another question. So what's going to happen to the empty space that leaves behind? There's a massive influx of new space, new office space coming into the Melbourne market, for example. I think it's the biggest since mid-90s or so. Ever 2021 and the next couple of years. So vacancy rates are going up. Something's got to happen to the spaces that the tenants are leaving vacated.
Yeah.
So there's opportunities there to, and I suppose it's something that that we were sort of trained in the Middle East, was to become sort of a trusted advisor to owners, and bring our different perspectives and just be a bouncing board, if you like, to things that are on the owner's mind, because the owners aren't always probably professionals. They come from a diverse background, probably more financial. They don't perhaps always understand the operational aspects of in these buildings.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? There's so much change going on, and the investment aspects we've spoke about with Adrian Service at JGS, and he's mentioned the exact same thing about the influx of more office, new office at the wrong time for COVID, or COVID's come at exactly the wrong time. Everything's changing. So I mean, from a point of view of I guess is the ownership and the client actually aware of all the options, and are they thinking about all them things? Because there's lots of cogs there. So a lot of it is about obviously from their perspective is making sure they've got a lease at the end of the day. It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
And I enjoy working with the owners with the larger portfolios. It's a little bit more. It's quite complex. There's a lot of different aspects to consider, and the strategy work I've done overseas and also recently, I think it's very relevant here, especially now.
Interesting times. Good to have you on board. Thanks for your time. Speak soon.
No problem. Bye bye now.